Ẹ káalẹ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán bí kíbi tẹ bá wà. Èmi ó já sọpẹ́ ọmọ yín náà ní happy new year, mo kì í pe ọdún. Èmi á ṣọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀kú àlàjá ọdún, ẹ̀kú pọ̀pọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ọdún. Lórí Heritage Television mo wà. Ètò ọlọ́kanòjọ̀kan variety show tí mo máa ń wà bẹ́ẹ̀ láti anchor lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. Òun ni mo dé báyìí. A dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé a kú àlàjá ọdún àlàjún tó kọjá já. Viewers at home, I'm using this opportunity to say happy new year and then good evening wherever you are, good afternoon, good morning. It's Ojasope from Heritage Television on variety show as I usually come. I'm going to anchor this program tonight. My name is Ojasope Olumide. I have a special guest from Nigeria. I have a big brother from Nigeria, who is my special guest, who is just an August visitor to Heritage Television. And we have opportunity to introduce him to you. As my guest is Mr. Adesina Oluwaji. He's a political analyst and building and civil engineering contractor. Is my guest, special guest tonight. I would like to welcome my special guest. You're welcome, sir. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò wa.
Ṣé ẹ kú ilé ní káàkiri?
Ẹ ṣé sà.
Ẹ kálẹ̀ gbogbo Nàìjíríà, pàápàá jùlọ èèyàn ọmọ Oòduà nílé àti lóko. A kú ọdún, a kú ìyèdún, ẹ̀mí á ṣọ̀pọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Ẹ ṣé gan bàbá mi. Àlejò wa pàtàkì ni àwọn náà ni Mr. Adesina Oluwaji láti ìlú Nàìjíríà náà ti wá. Wọ́n máa ń wá sí ìlú òyìnbó bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n mọ̀ ń pa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú, wọ́n dẹ̀ tún máa ń ṣe kọ́lékọ́lé ni wọ́n, contractor ni wọ́n ní CEO Base4construction Service Limited, nítorí pé ilé ni wọ́n ń kọ́, wọ́n mọ̀ ń pa ọ̀rọ̀ ilé láti kọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́ni a máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ pa bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń lọ, bó ṣe ń lọ sí, torí ilé làwọn wà, àwọn gangan náà wà ní ẹ̀wọ̀n náà wà nílẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀, àwọn ní grassroots ni wọ́n. Gbogbo ìta máa ń sọ ńgbà mi tó bá sọ pé lọ Nàìjíríà, ara àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà tó mọ̀ nípa nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ lọ́hùn àwọn náà la mú wá bá yín ní àlejò yìí. Àlejò mi pàtàkì, kí lorúkọ, ẹ ṣàlàyé irú èèyàn tẹ́ jẹ́, báwo ni irú èèyàn wo lẹ jẹ́, ẹ ṣàlàyé ara yín fáwọn ará ilé.
Orúkọ mi ni Adesina Oluwaji. Mo jẹ́ olùdarí iléeṣẹ́ Base4 Investment Construction Services Limited tí a kalẹ̀ sí ìlú Ìkọ̀tún ní agbègbè Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ ní Èkó, Lagos, Nigeria. We specialize in engineering and building construction services. And we've had the privilege to have worked with various corporate organizations in the past and at present. And right now, we are here to talk politics in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Àwọn alàgbà wa, August visitor wa, àlejò wa pàtàkì láti Nàìjíríà náà ni Mr. Adesina Oluwaji. Ṣẹ́yìn náà ti gbọ́ wípé civil engineering ni wọ́n, kọ́lékọ́lé ni wọ́n, Ìkọ̀tún náà fi kalẹ̀ sí. Ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́ni ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú Nàìjíríà, ibi tó ti ń bọ̀, ibi tó ń lọ, ibẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni. Ṣé ti mọ̀ pé tẹ́ bá ti rí Ojasope, ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ló pọ̀ jù náà ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi tó jẹ́ major ọ̀rọ̀. Òun ni mo ṣe fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá wọn lẹ́nu wò. Bàbá mi, àwọn aráalé wọ́n fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, especially àwa tá wà ní diaspora, tá wà nílùú òyìnbó. A fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan. A dẹ̀ wò pé ikọ̀ tó tẹ̀ wá yẹn, mo rántí pé láàrin local government ti Nàìjíríà, Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ kọ́ nìyẹn, ní Èkó, local government tó tóbi ni. Ó fẹ́ tó state kan ní Nàìjíríà, local government tó tóbi ni. Tí ìbò bá ti dé láti local government yẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, wọn tí lè sọ pé ẹni báyìí ló win, nítorí pé bí mo ṣe mọ̀, mo parọ́. Tí ìbò bá ti dé, ibẹ̀ yẹn náà pè ní ìbò náà pè bẹ̀ yẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá jọmọ Èkó, rí pé ibẹ̀ yẹn ìbò ó tó state méjì gan. Tí wọ́n bá dìbò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ń dì lọ tó ń kí, tó ń sọ pé àwa ti win, àwa ti tọ́ bá tá Àlímọ̀ṣọ́, tí àwọn Ìkọ̀tún kọ̀ọ̀kan Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ yẹn tó bá ti dì, wọn ti dìbò nìyẹn. Bàbá mi, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí kí ni ẹ rí sí àwọn ìjọba tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí, this administration, the current one, what do you see to this current administration? How are they performing? What do you see to it? Are they performing well, or are they do they have shortfall somewhere? What do you feel? Kí lẹ feel pa wọn? Ṣé wọ́n ń ṣe dáadáa? Ṣé ẹ wà comfortable pa wọn? Kí ni nǹkan tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó sí tó yẹ kán ṣe tí ẹ mọ̀?
Ẹ ṣé olóòtú. We cannot just independently assess the current government in Nigeria without talking about some of the fundamental things that form the bedrock of assessing performance in governance. If I may say it and emphasize for clarity, we have so many challenges facing us as a nation in that country. As many as our challenges may be, taba wo lọ, taba wo bọ̀, ohun kankan ló ti jẹ́ major factor to constant in every challenge facing Nigeria as a nation today.
Okay.
And that is simply corruption.
Corruption.
Trace any of our problem in that country today, check it out, go to the foundation, go to the root cause of it, try to evaluate why that problem persists, try to evaluate why it has defied major solution being preferred to it. You will discover that corruption is at the root of every problem that is facing us as a nation.
So now, do you think this current government is really technically managing the corruption? Because I don't believe in fighting corruption. What I believe in managing it. Do you think this government has managed it to the level that people all over the world are even impacts in the country, in the masses, on the masses? Do you think there is a good impact from this current?
Yorùbá sọ pé ńjọ́ tá bá ti rí bí wọ́n níbi tí ń wọlé. When you begin to identify the problem that face you as a nation or that face a race, you discover that identification or identifying that problem is already a major factor and is the beginning of road to freedom over that problem. Buhari government came in at the back of change proclamation, and one of the key priorities of their campaign then was to fight corruption. We cannot sit down here and agree that Buhari government has fight corruption enough, but one thing every Nigerian, even the opposition, that they will not deny is the fact that this government in place has been able to make clear that corruption is a major problem and it deserves all attention. In terms of publicity towards that as a problem, they've done very well. They have been able to bring it to the front burner as a nation. They've been able to present it to us and say, this is your problem. The question now is, have they been able to tackle it? So, in the area of identifying one of our major problems, I will give them a pass mark. Okay. But to talk about whether they have been able to tackle it, the way it will bring the needed change to governance, I think that is subjective. That is
so gọ́dẹ̀ tí aláàtì sọ ni pé lóòótọ́ wọ́n jẹ́ kí a mọ̀ pé ìṣòro kan tó ń kojú Nàìjíríà òun ni corruption, tó yẹ pé ọmọ tó ń jẹ̀bi lè ní gan ó mọ̀ pé corruption wà Nàìjíríà. Nǹkan kan tí ẹ rí pé wọ́n ṣe àṣeyọrí ẹ̀ ní ibẹ̀ ẹni ẹ, ṣùgbọ́n láti pé à ń ja corruption kúrò ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó ṣì wà bó ṣe wà, even ó bí pé ó tún pọ̀ sí ni, àbí báwo lẹ feel? Báwo lẹ́yìn feel ẹ̀? Because tẹ́ bá wo impact ipa tí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ń kó láti ṣe oríṣiríṣi nǹkan, ṣe understand? Kí ló fà á tó yẹ pé corruption yẹn wọn lè eradicate or kan minimize ẹ̀? Kí ló fà á? Kí lẹ́yìn rí pé ó fà á?
There are secondary problems facing us in Nigeria as a nation, and there are primary challenges that we have as a nation.
Okay.
One of the secondary problems we have in that country is the fact that we don't have the mentality to enforce our laws. I will put it to you that every law that you find in this environment here that make the society to be working, that make the economy to be going for it, that make things to be in order here, I can tell you that most of those laws are in existence in Nigeria as a country.
Yes.
But the fact remains that we have a very poor attitude towards enforcement of those laws that are in place. We have a nation with people that have a very negative mental attitude to nation building. We have a nation that corruption has eaten into every aspect of our society, and ultimately we end up throwing up poor leadership. These are the major secondary issues that we have in that country. And when you look at all these three issues, kí ni ó fa wàhálà gan tí nǹkan mẹ́ta gan àlè mú ọkọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ká get a good leader kó bọ́ sí position ká get àwọn laws wa kó fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ ká dẹ̀ get àwọn èèyàn wa kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí mọ́ the right to do at the right time. Corruption náà ni gbogbo ẹ̀.
ẹ ṣe gan bàbá mi àlejò mi pàtàkì ni Mr. Adesina Oluwaji àtẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ látẹ̀kọ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ sọ apá àbí tẹ̀tí wá ní Nàìjíríà kẹ́dẹ̀ sọ bí education mo sọ́ọ̀rì ó yẹ kẹ́ ti sọ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ background ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ fáwọn ẹ̀kọ́ wọn lè mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ Nàìjíríà gbọ́gbọ́ kọ́ ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ ti wá.
Okay, like I said, my name is Adesina Oluwaji. I'm from the royal family of Oluwaji in Itoku, Egba, Abeokuta, Ogun State. I'm a product of Federal Polytechnic Ekiti, where I studied building technology, and I got there in 1992 in that school. I've had a couple of other additional certificates added to that. And by the grace of God, I'm a minister of God in Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, Nigeria.
That's good. That's good to hear. Being a pastor, it's nice talking to you. And now, concerning the corruption. Concerning the corruption, I still believe in some things. The system is there, as you have said, that all the black and white, written, like maybe policy, all those things that they have in this country is the same thing we have in Nigeria. But the implementation is the problem. Let's talk about the salaries issue. When you are not equipped, when people are not equipped very well, like in this country, there is no way. You have to be well equipped. It's mandatory. And when you are well equipped, maybe financially, maybe technological wise, you are well equipped. Ó máa jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ yẹn kó yọrí, and then ó máa wúyàn lórí láti ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. But when you are not well paid, when you are shortchanged in many ways, and náà máa fẹ́ ṣe corner, is that not what is causing this problem? And then the system is not working because all these things are not there. Kí lẹ rí sí yẹn pé àìfún àwọn èèyàn ní ẹ̀tọ́ wọn tó kákàkiri, ṣé kìí ṣe òun ló fà tó fi jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn ò ní confidence lórí ìjọba Nàìjíríà, àwọn èèyàn ò ní confidence lórí ọjọ́ iwájú wọn, everybody fẹ́ sáré àsápajù, ṣé kìí ṣe òun ló fà?
Ó jẹ́ sọ pé tá a bá dà lọ síwájú, tá a bá dà lọ sẹ́yìn, kí ló fà tí àwọn èèyàn tí wọn ò rí ẹ̀tọ́ wọn gbà lásìkò? Ṣé ká sọ wípé ẹ̀tọ́ yẹn wọn ti ṣàdéhùn pé wọ́n máa fún wọn lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ wọn gbà tó yẹ kán fún wọn, àbí ká sọ wípé there was no provision from government to ensure that they get their dues for service rendered when due? Gbogbo kíni ló wà in place. The basic fact, the truth remains the fact that corruption has crept into the system, and people doesn't get what they deserve as at when they should get it done, and before you know it, it affects morale. It affects delivery of service, even from the personnel that are supposed to be in charge of this enforcement of law and whatever that we're talking about. And when you look at it very well, of course there are three arms of government. There is the executive arm, there is the judiciary, and there is the legislative arm. And we're talking about the executive president who is heading the executive arm, trying to implement his own agenda, his own vision for a nation. And you also discover that he cannot do it alone. You need the other arm of government to get most of these things being done.
Check and balances.
One of the things that I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party in Nigeria, but the fact that I am somebody who wants the best for my nation. We've traveled here and there, and we've seen the way things are done, and we just begin to feel that why can't some of these things be implemented in our own background? And that brings us now to the issue of the election that is coming forward. We've got so many candidates. We have the APC, which is the president is representing. We have PDP, which His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is representing. We have SDP, Donald Duke. We have AAC, Omoyale Sowore. We have ACP, NOB, 51 candidates. We have YPP, Mogalu, AN, Feladu Otoye is there. Dr. Fauna, Eunice Adereja, and of course our friend Adesina Oluwaji of Base TV, and a couple of other good candidates that are, yeah, I've mentioned that PDP candidates. They are all there, brilliant candidates, individuals that are proving their best in their choosing field. But looking at the manifesto, looking at experience, looking at record, track record, undisputable record, looking at background, looking at what everybody represents, where they're coming from, you cannot deny the fact that there are areas where they have edges above the other. Yeah. But if we have been able to identify the fact that this corruption that has eaten deep into our system need to be fight headlong, and somebody has made that his own agenda. We don't need 7-point agenda. We don't need 21-point agenda. If that's just one thing that somebody just coming in to tackle, and he has thrown light on it, and is working on it, and is doing his best, and so far so good. Nobody, I put it on record, nobody has come out to challenge the sitting president on the area of whether he's corrupt or not. So it means that the man is simply practicing what he preaches. And we could not find out in one or two other leading candidates. And it begins to give us this idea that come February 2019, we may have little option. We will not be able to digress too much in trying to pinpoint whom the electorate should be looking at for that salvation.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much. You can follow us. This is Heritage Television. For us to make it more good to public, and then to make it more okay for you guys out there. We will want you to follow us on YouTube. You can click on, you can subscribe. Yeah, click the subscribe button. YouTube. We are on Periscope. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram, and we are everywhere that you can see us on social media. You can just click on the button at the bottom of your at the bottom of your screen. Yeah, you can just click there, and then you will be able to subscribe to Heritage Television. And now I'm with Mr. Adesina Oluwaji, who is from Nigeria. Is my special guest, and we are talking about politics on variety show on Heritage Television. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Joko, sir. Yeah, nípa corruption yẹn, ẹ ti sọ ìtọ́jú inú ẹ̀. Now nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ìbò tó ń bọ̀ ní 2019, we are talking about vote buying. Pé ká máa bribe àwọn èèyàn kan dìbò fún wa. Ǹjẹ́ ó lẹ́tọ̀ọ́? Nítorí pé nígbà tí olórí wa kan tó kọjá lọ tó máa sọ, ó sọ pé vote buying yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé criminal offence ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn Nàìjíríà wọn ò believe pé criminal offence ni. Wọ́n fi ń ṣeré. Kí lẹ̀yin rí sí vote buying yẹn? Kí ni ìmọ̀ràn tẹ́ lè sọ? Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ lè sọ bí ìmọ̀ràn ó lè fáwọn èèyàn láti rí pé vote buying yẹn kò wáyé ní inú election tó ń bọ̀, torí pé ara nǹkan tó ń pa àti yan àwọn èèyàn sí ipò ni.
Like we said, one of the outcome of the corrupt society that we find ourselves in is that we end up throwing up, in most cases, bad leadership. And there cannot be good leadership when we have bad followership. And vote buying is criminal. Vote buying is condemnable. Vote buying is unfortunate. And Nigerians, we are very funny people. We kept moving from one level of corruption to another level. Once a particular form of corruption is being tackled, we evolved with another method again. When a nation engage or indulge in some of these negative attributes, it's unfortunate. It comes back. It comes back to the people, and that is where we need enlightenment for our people. Nígbà tá bá jókòó, tá bá jẹ́ kẹ́nìkan máa fi nǹkan tí ò tó nǹkan kan máa mú lé wa lọ́wọ́, kan máa fi tàn wá jẹ, ẹni tí ẹ ká dìbò fún tọkàntọkàn tí conscience wa mọ̀ pé ẹni yìí ló lè ṣe, tí a dìbò fẹ́ nìyẹn tó pẹ́ nìkan tí wàá bá wa ó ń fún wa ní tọ́rọ́ kọ́bọ̀. a ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ ìpè tó kọ́bọ̀ tá à ń gbà yẹn àfi ń ra ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa àfi ń ra àdánù ni àfi ń ba ọjọ́ ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ wa jẹ́ ni àfi ń bàlú jẹ́ ni because obviously anybody who has bribed his way to get to a particular position will want to get to that position, and before you know it, he become too corrupt for us to even manage, too corrupt to perform, too corrupt to render the service supposed to render, and too corrupt to see the people as the ultimate in decision making. So come 2019, as a nation, we should rise with one voice and tell all political leaders that there will be no vote buying. Vote buying is condemnable in all ramifications, and we should avoid it in totality as electorate.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nípa vote buying, Mr. Adesina Oluwaji has warned us about vote buying, that we shouldn't desist from it. We should desist from vote buying, and which is not good for our nasty democracy. And then now mo fẹ́ béèrè kankan lọ́wọ́ yín nípa àwọn opposition, the opposition party. I think PDP and some other parties, not only PDP, are criticizing this current government in some part of the activities since 3.5 years now back, that they have not been able to fulfill their promises based on even the corruption you were talking about. They have not been doing, because a lot of corrupt people are under this administration. A lot of people are corrupt. Even most people that are working with them, they mention that they are corrupt. Even recently we heard that a lot of people from the family of the head of state, there are a lot of them that are corrupt, and they make way with some money. And then in terms of economy, we all see that the economy, particularly concerning the masses, is not being effective. You understand? That's what the economy, and then the other one, I think I can be able to say the two, the economy and the corruption that they are saying. What do you see to the criticism, and then what do you expect the government of the day to have done in order to make the critics wrong? You understand? Wrong, make them wrong, or make a correction.
Like I said, I am not a card member of any political party.
Yeah, I understand. You are a political analyst. Those
are very facts. In the last dispensation, I have been one person who has always stand on the side of the truth. And my philosophy is for a political candidate that we have evaluated and that we feel could get the job done. Not based on sentiment, not based on propaganda, and not based on false information dissemination. In the last election in 2015 for Lagos State, I have my sympathy for the APC gubernatorial candidate, His Excellency Ambode. Why? Because I have this conviction that is coming to implement a policy that Fashola has been doing and was doing very well. And be that as it may, I also have my sympathy for Segun Adewale, who was of the PDP platform in the senatorial election for Lagos West. Those are diversified views. It's not based on any political lineage. And that's exactly the same way I'm going to look at this present dispensation. The opposition led by the PDP party has been able to come together, and they have been able to, of course, roll out their own view about why they feel that this present government has not done its best. It's okay. We may take it that the government of the day has not been at its best, especially based on the euphoria that ushered them in, where we are all expecting that the messiahs have come. We have forgotten that the depth of what is at stake in terms of governance is what we cannot totally evaluate. You don't know what you are going into until you get inside. For me, PDP has tried to let us know that this government is bad and they don't deserve a second term. My challenge to them is that they have not been able to come up with any alternative that looks like a solution to a major problem. We are talking about corruption having it deep into the society.
What of other parties? Don't let us limit
I'm taking it one by one.
Okay,
I'm going to take it one by one. Exactly. I'm going to take it one by one.
Okay.
And I kept asking, they should have been by now. If the present president's strength of character is based on his integrity and honesty that that APC tried to present around him, I would have expected the opposition to have been able to come up with facts and figures that will show that this man is not what the party presented him to be. They are here to do that as at this moment. There are other fine leading opposition candidates. If we feel that the PDP is not giving us the kind of alternative that we expected, we have some promising presidential aspirants from other party. I will not want to mention names, but we know some of them. Yeah. We know our queen, Obi Ezekwesili, who has always been somebody who has stand for the truth. Yeah. She has been in front of, I don't know how to put it, even when these Chibok girls were abducted, she has stood for them, stood for rights, for their rights, stood for justice. But there is always a time for everything. I think they have not been able to really come up with a blueprint that will tell us that this is how they are going to restructure the polity, and this is how they intend to go about it. They have not been able to come with the kind of campaign that APC came with in 2015.
Like what?
In 2015, APC came on board and let everyone know that there's need for a change.
Which change is it?
Well, change from bad economy to good economy.
But have you seen any change, particularly those who is living in your vicinity area? Since 3.5 years, have you seen any changes?
Now, the question is, those changes might not be visible within 4 years. This is just the third year, within 4 years. You don't expect change overnight. If a system has been damaged, destroyed, if people have been dehumanized over a period of time, we're not just talking about the last year of PDP, we're talking about even from the military era. And we now expected those changes to be visible in 3-4 years. That is not how it's been done in civilized and modern societies. A government came in, and that is where the fact remains that you don't bring a government in and expect the government to spend just one term, and within just one term, we expect them to be in the moon. No, they are. But for me, I see indices. I see some signs. I see some promising moves that shows that it could be better tomorrow. But it does not mean that they are moving. This present government is moving at the pace that we expected. What I would thought as a political analyst is the pace in which this government is moving, not the direction that they are moving. They are moving in the right direction.
All right, thank you. Yeah, my guest is Adesina Oluwaji. He's not from any political party. If you have anybody from political party that is on my platform here on Heritage Television, will tell you is whatever he says on this platform is his own opinion. I think he's just a political analyst. It's just like me and you on the street that knows what is going on, that can give us, and he has insight of what is going on in our society concerning the political situation in the country. And he's a building and civil engineering contractor, and he's the CEO of Base4construction Services Limited. He's a builder also. I know he knows much about what is going on in our country. That's why I said we should talk to him. And then if you want to follow us on Heritage Television, you can follow us on subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, and some other on social media, and then you can follow us on Facebook, Heritage Television. That's where we are. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan bàbá mi. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nílé, arákùnrin tí wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú mi, Adesina Oluwaji ni wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni tó mọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú, nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwùjọ wa nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú. Wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ olùkọ́lé, wọ́n máa ń kọ́lé, kọ́lékọ́lé ni wọ́n sí nínú ẹgbẹ́ olóṣèlú kankan. Wọ́n wà neutral, wọ́n kàn sọ bí nǹkan ṣe yé wọn sí ni. Wọn tó bá sọ bí kò ń ṣe Heritage ló sọ. A gbé wọn wá láti Nàìjíríà láti wá sọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Nǹkan tí wọ́n mọ̀ òun ni wọ́n fún wa gbọ́ yẹn. Nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n náà ju pé wọ́n ní ìmọ̀ nípa nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ètò òṣèlú Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìbò rírà, wípé kò ṣe nǹkan tó tọ̀nà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ tún sọ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ìjọba tó wà níbẹ̀ yìí pé wọ́n gbìyànjú, especially nípa ìwà àjẹbánu tí wọ́n bá tán sọ pé àwọn máa ṣe pé wọ́n gbìyànjú díẹ̀. Kí ni opinion yín nísìn nípa gbogbo àwọn olùdíje ta ní presidential candidate ta ní lóríṣiríṣi? Wọ́n tó 51, ṣe understand? but àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan wà ń bẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ ní lórí gbogbo àwọn olùdíje yẹn kọ̀ọ̀kan kí ni ẹ rí nípa àwọn olùdíje ta ní ẹ ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀nà tẹ́lẹ̀ mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ lé emphasis díẹ̀ wípé most of them kò sí tí a lè sọ pé àṣàdànù nínú wọn ṣùgbọ́n kí lẹ̀yin rí sí àwọn olùdíje yẹn pátápátá as a whole kí lẹ rí ẹ tún kàn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
My advice to Nigerians, nílé, local, home and in diaspora, is that vote for your conscience. Every of these presidential candidates has their strong points, and my advice, especially to young ones, each time I have opportunity to address them, is that based on your own evaluation, based on your own critical examination of the system, let your vote go to the candidate that you believe has what it takes to move this nation forward. Even if your candidate did not win today,
he might win tomorrow.
It's an encouragement to him that somebody out there believes in him, and if you continue in the right direction, he can be there tomorrow. If anybody wins today and he spent 4 years, another 4 years there, or he spent another 8 years there, it does not mean that any of these other candidates that has a good idea of what it takes to move the nation forward cannot come in eventually in future. So we should not disregard any of our candidates. People like Omowole Yale Sowore, brilliant guy. I've seen him speak at public forum, and I can give it to him that he's doing very well. Candidate like Donald Duke, who is tested.
I think he has been changed to. Is it
another candidate in there?
Yeah, it has been changed.
His sister, I think they're still in the court, and they will have to wait for the court, whatever. So the point I'm trying to make there is that we need a candidate that can turn the economy of this nation around. We need a candidate that can fight corruption. We need a candidate that can provide leadership to the youth. We need a candidate that is credible, a candidate that understands what it takes for Nigeria to move forward.
Thank you very much.
That is what we should
I'm still going to come back to the corruption issue. But before that, I want to ask a question. A question that has been bothering many people. That the question that I believe Yoruba, even Yoruba race, àwọn èèyàn wa fẹ́ gbọ́ jù. Nǹkan táwọn èèyàn wa fẹ́ ni pé lórí restructuring. Tẹ́ bá wò wípé àwọn èèyàn wa, even Yoruba, àwọn Oòduà, àwọn náà kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa restructuring láti ilẹ̀. A dẹ̀ ń tẹnumọ́ restructuring yẹn la fi ń ní àwa tá jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá gidi. Tẹ́ bá wo àwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá gidi tó jẹ́ Oòduà tó jẹ́ ìran Oòduà, restructuring yẹn náà ń sọ náà ń tẹnumọ́ láti ilẹ̀ wípé kí gbogbo wa ká wà ní region, kó oníkálukú wà region, ká máa submit fún federal, kí oníkálukú lè máa gbé talent ẹ̀ jáde, kí gbogbo oníkálukú lè kó má di pé èèyàn kan parọ́ fún wa pé wọ́n ń lọ sí Àbújá tá à ní mọ̀ bẹ̀, bùtá bá wà láàrin ara wa à lè produce irú gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa tó yẹ pé wọn ò ríṣẹ́ wọn ò rí kankan láàrin ara wa bẹ̀ region wa à lè manage àwọn àrẹwà lè manage tọ̀dọ̀ wọn, àwọn Ìgbò náà lè manage tiwọn, àwọn south á lè manage tiwọn. Ǹjẹ́ kí lẹ̀yin rí sí ọ̀rọ̀, because àwọn candidates kan wà tó yẹ pé wọ́n dìde promise restructuring yẹn pé they are going to do it, and then kí lẹ̀yin rí sí restructuring yẹn, and then kí lẹ̀ rí sí ìjọba tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú restructuring yẹn, báwo lẹ̀yin ṣe rí restructuring yẹn sí pẹ̀lú ìjọba tó wà nílẹ̀ àti àwọn tó ń clamor pé àwọn fẹ́ fún wa restructuring àti wípé Yorùbá bèèrè restructuring, kí lẹ rí sí.
Olóòtú, ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé pé Nigeria was run a parliamentary government in the early 60s, and along the line we had the first coup and we went to war, and some of our leaders had to fight war, lay their life down, shed blood to keep this country united. And restructuring is good. It has one major advantage. It allows every region to manage their resources in a way that is peculiar to the benefit of their people. That is good. But that is also subjective. It's all about implementation. It's all about the kind of leadership that should be thrown up. It has its own advantage and it has its own disadvantage. And when we are talking about a nation that is ridden with corruption in every nook and corner of the nation, you begin to find out, you begin to ask yourself, those who are clamoring for restructuring today, are they sincere? Are they ready to implement it to the latter in a way that the common man on the street will be beneficial to him or her. Restructuring is good. It decentralizes power from the center, and it allows regional leaders to emerge and manage their wherever. And I think, if I'm correct, even this present government also too never deny the fact that restructuring is needed in our nation. I think where they all differ in terms of a political whatever is the implementation and perhaps the timing of it. But I look forward to a Nigeria one day where every region will have control over their resources.
Thank you very much.
That will be good for all of us.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. That the restructuring is still better off, and then it can still make a little bit changes, and then we can. Every region can have its own,
their own policy.
And then at the end of the day, no region will be flaying that they have been shortchanged. You understand? If you are shortchanged, it's your people that are shortchanged.
Majority
and some people will not be saying that this region are the one taking
all the resources at our expense.
And then there will be peace.
Resources control will be minimized. Noise for it will be minimized.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you see to the security of the country now? Yeah, that is what I want to say last time, but because there are three cardinal points: economy, corruption, and security. I think we've talked about the corruption very well. We've talked about the economy a bit. Now the security. What do you see? This administration, how far have they gone with securing the country, and then what do we expect in 2019?
The security situation as of today in Nigeria.
Yes, sorry. And if you want to join us in studio, if you want to join us, you can call on 020 800 46100 to 9, option 100 to 9 109. So you can call us on landline, studio line. If you are calling from other part of the country, you can put +44 20 800 46100 to 9. That's the option to call if you want to join us in this conversation on variety show on Heritage Television. My guest here is Mr. Adesina Oluwaji. He's from Nigeria. He's a political analyst. He's not from any political party, but he's trying to tell us what is going on in our political issue in Nigeria. So if you want to join us, or if you want to get involved, you can call on that number on the screen. So I'm hearing you, sir.
The political situation in Nigeria today is not what anyone should be very proud of, because one of the major responsibilities of a responsible government is to secure life and properties. We cannot say that is in excellent shape in Nigeria as of today. But quickly, we have to add that did not start from this administration. A political opponent who share a different view might be of the opinion that this government has enough time to have naked it in the mud and kill it off. But I want to ask, why has previous government not been able to naked in the mud like that? And that tells you that there are challenges. And for somebody like me, I will look at it. I'm not a security personnel. I may not be privileged to have this kind of information that will let me have a very serious, objective opinion. But from the few information that's available in the media, from those information that we could pick on internet and everywhere, you also discover that corruption is also at the bottom of this insecurity, one way or the other. Where a particular amount of money is budgeted for equipment to be purchased to fight a particular cause, security cause, and you get to hear in the news, true or false, that such money were being diverted to private purse in Nigeria. And you begin to wonder, what do you expect the innocent security forces all over to do when they have to fight criminals with obsolete equipment, when they have to fight criminals with equipment that are less sophisticated compared to what these criminals are parading? So you look at it from the angle that a lot has to be done in the area of tackling illegal leakages, so that our security vote can go for the right cause in which they are being budgeted for.
Well, thank you, my brother. But I want to chip in from what the opposition said. I think the Vice President Peter Obi was asked on
The
channel
vice president
television.
candidate of PDP.
Yeah, he was saying it's not the issue on ground is the inefficiency. It's inefficiency. There's money there. There is everything for the government to cover it up because it's getting more and more disgusting.
What are those things that are getting it more and
Yeah,
more
the
disgusting?
efficiency. Maybe like some other people are saying, like the military personnel, like one of the candidates that you mentioned, like Showore have said, that is going to fire all the generals.
Once.
I think what we have expected in this government to have done is to have changed a lot of the top military personnel. You understand? Because if someone is not doing it fine, like in this country, if you are not doing it fine, they immediately change you, they immediately fire you, give another person a trial. For over 3.5 years, we still have somebody there, and this is not getting better. What do you think about what they are saying? Do you support what they are saying?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt that this government still has a lot to do in the area of security. There's so much security challenge in the country now that you begin to wonder whether we really have a government that really understand these challenges. But be that as it may, it is easier said than done. Like I said, it's not easy for us to sit down here and begin to evaluate security challenges from the point of media proclamations. It goes beyond that. A lot goes on within the. I have a privilege to have interacted with one or two or few military personnel, and you discover that they have a lot of challenges too, starting from the low morale of the personnel to poor equipment, to a lot of factors that you don't show to the public for security reasons. And having said all that, firing all service chiefs in the swoop in a day does not look like something that will come up with. Don't forget that these are people that have been well trained with the resources of the nation. These are people that are experienced. These are people that have come a long way in understanding this challenge.
But do we not have any young and intelligent? Like I could remember during the time of military, there is a governor that was working in United States Embassy. You understand? He's a military guy representing Nigerian military, and he was invited from there to be a governor in the country based on
I know we are talking about that.
And now when he gets to this country, make a changes, which I know. So why can't we just look for somebody like that? We have a lot of people. You might not fire them. You understand? But you put somebody that is very well, very well experienced. Yes, not analog people like those who cannot change the system. You know.
The fact remains that youthfulness has its own advantage. For every position that you are able to find a qualified youth to fill in, of course, it comes on board with some enthusiasm, comes on board with some courage, comes on board with some action, comes on board with quick whatever. But be that as it may, you cannot also discard away totally experience, and that is why for us to move forward, we need a blend of experience from the old and the youthfulness of the younger ones. And that's why I said earlier on that people like Showore should be encouraged. People like some of these younger people should be encouraged. So that along the line, we'll see how they get integrated into the system one way or the other.
Thank you, sir. This is my guest from Nigeria. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you very much.
It's a really well analysis that you have made in Nigerian politics. We hope to see you some other time in UK. But finally, before you go, I want you to tell us about the election funding.
Okay.
I think that is part of what is causing this corruption. The election funding, the way our election is being funded. What do you see to it? Is it not the one that is causing that whenever these people get there, they are going to corrupt? If you know how much, if you want to become a councillor, if you know how much you are going to spend, if you want to become the senator, if you know how much you're going to spend, even to get Buhari now, he got his form for about how much million is it? 40 something million. Yeah, it's a big
farmers.
No, forget about the donation. Those who are donating, they are going to get their money back. And by the time you do not give them the back, because it's an investment, they've turned the politics to investment. Because you don't need somebody to come and gather money and give you. Those who gather money and give you, they are the ones that will destroy your government by the time you get there. Because you might not be able to, if you want to do a good if you want to perform very well, you will not want to give them what they want. And if you don't give them, they start blackmailing you and everything starts. So you understand? So what do you think, what do you see about the funding?
Election in Nigeria, not only in Nigeria,
and not only
in Africa as a whole. Election in Africa and Nigeria in particular, it has been so much monetized that if you don't have the required war chest in terms of finances to confront election, you cannot go anywhere. That is one of the cankerworm that has eaten into our system gradually. And we can only try, number one, to ensure that the law that are in place that are against election, monetizing election, are well implemented and enforced. That's why I said it at the opening of my interview that one of the major challenges in our country is enforcing our rules that we have in place. Once we're able to do that, we'll begin to address some of these challenges that we have. So we have to go on and ensure that we educate. Okay, the call is coming in.
Okay. Hello? 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 Okay. So lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tí à ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ìnáwó nínú òṣèlú, báwo ni nínáwó ní òṣèlú, a rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ owó yẹn ó pọ̀, ṣé kìí ṣòun ló ń fà tí àwọn èèyàn fi ń dọ́gbọ́n sí ọ̀rọ̀ àjẹbára yìí tá à ń pè corruption?
ààrẹ náà nítorí pé nígbà tí a bá ti fẹ́ ṣe òṣèlú tí ìbò bá ti ń bọ̀, tí a bá ti tó jẹ́ pé tó bá ti mú gidi wájú la fẹ́ fún ní ìbò wa, ẹni tó lè gbowó wa bá wa yìí kì í kó yá kó ṣiṣẹ́ owó yẹn síbi kan pamọ́, òun náà lọ kójọ níbì kan ni. Nígbà tó bá wọlé tán, ibi tó ti kówó jọ, àwọn tó kówó fún á fẹ́ rí pé òun ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ òun ò dojú wọn mọ́lẹ̀. So at the end of the day, the primary reason why he was elected into that position will not be his priority on that seat. So the people end up to suffer for it. Infrastructure gets more decayed. A lot of economic policies are abused just to ensure that he satisfies paymasters, and that's why we need to enlighten our people.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to join involved with the program going on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done. It's a good job. We love to come up there, right? But my concern is that. Hello.
Who is calling, please? Can I know your name?
Temi.
Temi. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yes.
We are hearing you.
My concern is that a lot of people are confused. They don't know exactly who to go for now. We don't know the right person to follow. That's the main problem.
Temi. Okay. Yeah. Temi said she doesn't know who to go for.
Vote right, but who is the right person?
Nobody knows. Yeah. They don't know the right person now. They are confused. Who am I going to vote for out of all these people? Who are we trust? Who can we trust with that? Who do we trust? Who can we put Nigeria economy on his hand that will reshape it? That will shape it to the
That's exactly what we're saying here. All the candidates.
Okay. Charlie Boy will try and speak English. Okay, as possible. Temi, yeah.
All the candidates have been able to come up and tell us about what they feel is the problem that is facing us as a nation, and all the candidates as well are coming up gradually with what they think is the solution to our problem. On this seat here, I've been able to summarize that all the problems that face us as a nation in Nigeria can be packed and and summarize as corruption, because that is the foundation of most of our problem. And here I am saying that which of these candidates has really given us an insight, an idea, a clear statement of mission that he is ready to fight this corruption with everything that he could do. And that tells you where the pendulum should be tilting. So, for you as an individual, evaluate the candidates, look at what they represent. If you go on social media, you will see their various manifestos there. Look at what they represent. Look at what you know based on your own environment as the basic things that our country needed to move forward, and see who represent your own idea of that mission. And from there, you'll be able to narrow it down and tell yourself in clear conscience that I think this person represents what I am thinking about in terms of which direction Nigeria should go.
So tell me, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's what Mr. Adesina has made it clear that at least it's not you alone. You are not asking the question for yourself alone. You are asking
for Nigerians.
For Nigerians.
Don't let anybody bribe your way. Don't let anybody give you any money. Don't let anybody tap out with your conscience. Vote for your conscience.
Yeah, try and get involved, and then see their manifestos and see who are in the party, and then see most of them and try and find out who are they. And then maybe by the time you see most of them that are there, maybe they are technocrats, maybe they are professionals, and then those who are trustworthy. And then I think by then you can be able to say this is who can make Nigeria great again. Thank you very much, Temi.
All right.
Temi, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think the security, we are talking about the election fund.
Election monetization.
Yeah, monetization.
So gẹ́gẹ́ bá yé sọ, tí a bá lọ gbébò wá fún ẹnìkan tó pé òun ló gbowó tó pọ̀ wá jù, bí gbàtà kẹ́ni ẹ̀ sí wàhálà ni, torí nígbà tó bá débẹ̀ tán, ibi tó ti rówó ló máa mójútó. So
it means that election funding is very, very important that time. I think what is the problem? What can they do to make sure that they reduce this election funding to minimize? It's like, like all this campaign going around, going above, around all over the country. That do they need to be going around? Because that one too is part of the logistic, the campaign, the campaign train, the cars. I think I heard that some governors are donating like 20, 30 cars. Some officials, government officials, where are they seeing the money? Are they not political investors? Is it not dangerous? What can we do? What policy can we put on ground? Although we have the policy, how can we affect the policy that we make it that whenever even if you don't have money, you can vie for position of president? Because even Senator Ogunlewe, that's a past minister for works, former minister for works, I even said it on channel television that there is no way, if you don't have money, you can't go into politics, which I know is true. It's a fact.
Tested and
experienced. Yeah, it's tested and experienced. He knows what he's saying. But how can we do it? Because that's the major problem we are having. It's one of the major problems. Can we reduce all this funding one way or the other, so that when the people get there, they will be able to manage our resources very well, rather than recoup all what they have spent?
It's a straightforward thing. There's hunger in the land. People are hungry in the country. There is poverty in the land. And unfortunately, what our leaders do is to take advantage of people's condition and try to use that as an advantage during the election, and try to monetize their conscience. And it starts from me and you enlightening our people that don't let anyone monetize your conscience. Go out there and vote according to the dictate of your conscience. When you think about the future,
especially 4 years.
4 years. when you think about the kind of enslavement you put yourself into, when you take small money from somebody that we know, in most cases we know the right thing, but with the will, the strong will to vote right is the challenge that we have. Everybody want to follow the crowd. You don't want to vote in a way that your vote, I don't want my vote to be wasted.
Yeah.
No vote will be wasted.
Yeah.
Start from somewhere. Get somebody encouraged. Yeah. If somebody rise up and say, I want to offer myself for service, and he does not have the kind of money that they are throwing around, does not mean that we should not support him. I have an elderly man of integrity that is contesting for House of West post in Ajao Estate, Isolo constituency, Chiflo Ikeagu. That's somebody that I know has integrity. That's somebody that is tested and trusted. Someone that we know could do it. So, but in most cases, we want to. I think it's one of the party, maybe ADP or ADC or whatever.
Okay.
It's not in one of these major party. And in most cases, we tend to focus on the major parties to get our vote casted. Nigerians, vote according to your conscience.
Yeah,
don't let anything dictate for you.
Thank you very much.
My
guest, my special guest today is Mr. Adesina Oluwaji. Is a political analyst and then building and civil engineering contractor. He's not a politician. He does not represent any political party. He just in UK, United Kingdom, for short time, and then we thank God that he's able to make it tonight. You are welcome, and then we are very grateful for
my pleasure
for you joining us, and we hope to see you whenever you come to UK
again.
I
promise to be here.
All right. Just up pẹ̀lú orúkọ tèmi, ọ̀dọ̀ rí pé Yorùbá ni ó máa ń tulẹ̀ ní tèmi, mo ń ṣe olóyìnbó ṣùgbọ́n a gbìyànjú lálẹ́ yìí ní orí Heritage Television láti balance díẹ̀díẹ̀. Yín tẹ́ bá fẹ́ join wa, if you want to join us on Heritage Variety Show or Heritage Television, you can click the button on your screen. You can click it and join us in Instagram, YouTube, and the other social media, and you will be able to find us there. And for tonight, we will say a lovely good evening to all our viewers, and then we'll say thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much. My name is Ojasope.
Adesina Oluwaji. Nigeria Shimadara.
Nigeria Shimadara. Thank you very much. Nigeria Shimadara. Thank you very much for joining us. Kashifono. Good night. Odaro.
Bye.
Bye.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.